Yeah, if it's not for you, that's totally understandable. That's what we're saying. I'm sorry, I'm just catching up here. Oh, that son of a camera. So I'm gonna go over here to my black oven, get my color cup. There it is. Lightly introduce it to the heat over here. Hey guys, be nice. And just do a slow roast, just barely outside of the heat. Oh my God, that camera's gone too. What the hell? So, I don't know if anybody hasn't seen this part of the process before, but this is a little thing I'm rolling on the table here is called my supio. It's a color cup that I made yesterday. Supio, I don't know what it means in Italian, but it definitely means something in Italian. And it is basically a section of a long tube of color cup, color section. So you make a nice big color blank, section it off into these little guys, and then use each one of these as a individual piece, or however you want, as its own color section. So if you want to make a series of pieces using the same color pattern, you don't have to do multiple roll-ups. You can do one roll-up, section it off, and stretch it out. It also gives a very nice ability to give a very, very, very tight twist to the glass, because these were straight lines that I rolled up onto my supio, and then I twisted them a little bit, and now we're really going to build up a lot of heat and super twist them. So I'm cooling the bottom and creating a little knob down here that I'm going to section off, and I'm going to super freeze this knob by dipping it into water and freezing it up, and then reheating the rest of the bubble completely to the point where it's very, very soft. And what that's going to do is give me the ability to hold that cooler knob at the bottom while the top twists very aggressively. I'm also going to add on my blow hose. So that I can inflate if I need to. If the bubble starts to do weird things like collapse or buckle in, then I want to be able to inflate it at the time I'm working it. So that was one good tight twist. Now I'm going to do another just in order to actually clean up the tip, make the tip look a little better. I'm going to reheat it and give it another extra tight twist while really being careful to keep the smallest cut mark that I can at the bottom so that the lines are going to come together very nicely at the point, not just be a big old chewed through cut mark. All right. Okay. So now I've got a second to go ahead and get my cameras back up and running. Bear with me, guys. We're going to let this hang out right here. I have this pipe hanger over here that you'll see come into play later. Right up here. I can hang it and just trust the pipe to be straight. Now, I don't know where, yeah, I've never even heard a version of what supio might mean in Italian. Oh. Yep, you're right. It does sound like it might make sense. Ooh. This one got a little bit of away from me. It was a little thinner in the shoulder than I expected it to be. That's okay. We're going to manage it. In glass, it's not what you can make, it's what you can save. All right, time to start getting the blow hose hooked up. Okay. I'm just centering this according to wobble for now. Now I'm going to drip some water in that constriction at the top, stressing out the glass right there. I'm going to bonk it, send a vibration all the way down, and it's going to break at the weakest point of attachment, which is right at the end of the piece. Now I can reheat that area. I can reheat the whole thing if I want, but I don't want to heat the whole thing too much. I just want the bottom to stay stable and cool and not movable. And then the top, I want to get extra, extra hot. Well, I appreciate you having me part of your day. Let me get my torch. Hey, good morning, Itchy. Thank you for being here. Thanks for checking in. Yeah. Yes. Hey, thank you, Janessa. I was just thinking about my lip wrap next. Man, right on. See, that's why I keep you guys around. Purple lip wrap. Reminding again. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Happy about that one. I have 4 more to do. So I'm just going to get some pipes up in the fire, sweep up a little bit, and get this mess cleaned up. And we'll come right back to it, okay? While I'm here, stick around, please. Feel free to ask away if you have any questions in the chat about glass blowing, you know. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Andromeda. Or wait, no, another Justin. Yeah, Janessa, excuse me. Thought I saw Andromeda. All right, I'm going to put a minute of work into this camera as well. And probably no more because it's frustrating. Tech glitches is what it's all about for me today, it would seem. I don't know why these 2 cameras just start acting up. See, I don't trust that image. I think that's actually see that shakiness? That's a sign of a bad connection. That's not the camera itself. All right. Let's see this. Oh, that works. Okay, that works. That works. That works. I don't really like that view much, but I'm going to assume my mic is still working for you guys. Sure hope so. I'm sure I need to start charging it. It has been a couple hours. Should be okay. So give me a minute to eat a little snack, get some pipes hot, and I'll be right back to you, everybody, okay? Stick around, gang. It's not difficult to focus when you're working through a piece as long as you have the correct structures in place. Mapping out the piece ahead of time with your assistants or even yourself internally to decide how the piece is going to go. It's all very important, all the way down to your hydration and the way that you feel that day. It's all very important. When you do that and you get all your setup in place with your tools properly and your assistants on the same page as you, and you have all your systems in place, then suddenly everything works out very nicely. And then the only things you have to worry about are getting a little too hot and stepping out for a minute or two and then coming right back to it. I'd say the main challenges in my job tend to be the technical challenges, and they're the most fun. They're the most rewarding to try to conquer. You need to be able to accept your losses, and failure is a large part of making glass. You either get a piece of glass or you get a lesson almost every time you put it in the oven. And if you don't see the lesson there, then you're going to miss it, and you will absolutely wish that you had gotten it, because glassblowing requires your focus on such a level that you don't have time to put it down and come back to it. Working with other glass artists is also incredibly encouraging to get other points of view on how a particular technique could be approached. There's a huge wealth of knowledge out there, so I always try to encourage as many glass artists to come visit. I would say creativity is to take a common knowledge or a shared experience and embellish it. So for me, as a constant observer, I'm always driven, I think, to replicate the beauty in what I see around me. I'm always observing nature. I'm always trying to show my daughters that it's very important to speak about your thoughts on nature. Creativity is very important in my work because I work with so many people. I need to be creative to learn how to communicate with them and learn how to reach our common goals together. You have to be creative in your thoughts. You have to be ready to reinterpret sometimes for people. And it only helps to make you a stronger designer or glassblower. I think when I first started making glass, I really just wanted to make pretty things. I'm learning more about how to apply the particular processes in order to achieve the goals that I might want to. So my philosophy has changed in terms of being able to make what I want to now, as opposed to making what I potentially thought that was the best I could make. So I like to craft my glass in a way that makes me happy, whether that's building a large sculpture or a happy cloud goblet of some sort. But it's work that makes me happy, and that's not so rooted in the idea of being what I think is historically pretty and what taught me the techniques. I think I'm able to diverge from that a bit. Creative work is always more fun to plan out with your team and understand as a team, because it really feels a lot like working in a kitchen, for instance, when everybody has a time-sensitive project that they all have a part to complete as they go. And when it all goes smooth and you're set up well and you have a great team working with you, it seems like easy work. There's a lot of different ways to interpret work, and as a craftsman, I tend to focus more on the technical aspects of work. It's hard for me to dwell on my work too much. I tend to move on to the next project pretty quickly so that I can keep myself fresh and take on a wide variety of projects. I learn from my work as much as I can, and I always try to decide how to make it better next time, what I could have done better, while not beating myself up and realizing that I'm still doing just fine with it. It's getting in the oven, and I'm still learning. When I come into the studio, I have the most beautiful park to walk into. It's always quiet, and you can hear the nature coming down the hill as you walk into the park. It's a really serene place to be in the mornings. So I'm very lucky that I get to have a studio that is so inviting to come into. When I come in, I always have to assess what's going to happen throughout the day. I'll typically unload the ovens from the day before if they're ready and do some maintenance checks and make sure the equipment is all in line and going to work for the day, and start figuring out what I need for the day, whether it's going to be these particular furnaces or those particular ovens and colors and patterns and my designs for the day. My name is Paul Swarwood. I'm the resident artist for glassblowing in Glen Echo Park in Maryland here. I'm the owner and operator of Glen Echo Glassworks, and I run all the day-to-days within the studio, whether it be teaching, scheduling, blowing glass, or having others come in to work with me and make glass. Glassblowing is a fantastically entertaining process for me all the way through, from beginning to end. It is engaging physically, it's engaging mentally, challenging in every dimension you can imagine. I love that focus. It brings you to a point of clarity with the materials that you can anticipate it and take it to the next level. It's always fun to demonstrate for somebody who maybe hasn't ever seen it before. And when you're done with the project, it's a real final moment that gives me the feeling as if I just did a magic trick for them. Even though to me the process seems very matter of fact, after practicing for so long, it still amazes a lot of people, especially in kids, when you see that amazement. It's extremely encouraging. It's always very important to me to make sure that I don't just put the piece in the oven and I'm done with it, but I actually learn something from that piece. And I love the ability to reflect on the glass afterwards and imagine what it maybe could have been if I had only had this part different or that part a little more fine-tuned or corrected. So that's what drives me as an artist. Glassblowing can be very intense when you're working with it, and it can feel very emotional at the time. And that's actually, I feel, very good, because it keeps you focused on keeping the piece of glass on the pipe and safe while you're staying safe as well. It benefits you to break pieces and learn from them. It makes you less emotional over any given piece and somehow still more emotional about the process. There's an unbelievably rewarding satisfaction that comes with understanding a given piece on the level of the maker. So it's really a fun thing to be part of in the creation. Hey everybody, we back. Wow. It would seem that we back. I just absolutely inhaled a sandwich and a drink real quick, cleaned up a little bit, thought about some shapes and forms, and we're going to get started. Again, thank you everybody for being here. I really appreciate having you. right, so this is a gold with blue lines. And I'm going to do this one. Let's see, I have. Excuse me. Yeah, I know what I'm going to do with this one. Let me get that cooler. This one I really need to be kind of aggressive with because I have so much material compared to the amount of stiff color.